Hi love, welcome back. In today's class we are making V-stitch men's sweater. If you are new to this channel, please subscribe, and if you're a returning subscriber, thank you for always coming back. Let's get right into class. I'm going to be using this acrylic yarn, buttermilk, my scissors, a 4.5mm hook, and some stitch markers. In total, I use 5 balls of 100-gram acrylic yarn for this project, and this project fits a size medium to large. To begin with, you are going to take your shoulder to shoulder measurements and you are going to make a slip knot. After the slip knot, you are going to make a foundation chain long enough to reach shoulder to shoulder, the measurement you just took. So your chest measurement. So I'm chaining 80 for my foundation chain, and this is for a size medium to large, and it's an oversized V-stitch sweater. After your 80 chains, you are going to add 6 or however chains that you made, chain extra 6, and now you are going to make a triple crochet. Prepare for a treble crochet inside the 7th stitch. Skip 6 and make a treble crochet inside the 7th stitch. Yarn over 2 and yarn over pull through 2. Chain 1. Prepare for a treble crochet inside the same stitch. Now you would have your V. It's not really showing, but as we go on with our project, you will see. Now make a treble, chain, skip 2 and prepare your next treble crochet in the 3rd chain. Chain 1, make a treble in the same space. Prepare for a treble again. Skip 2 foundation chain and make your treble in the 3rd chain. Chain 1 and prepare for your treble in the same stitch. So this is the pattern for row 1, and it's going to be a repeat pattern until you get to where you would want to put your V neck, and I'll show you. So with the back, you are going to make 2 panels, front and back. With the back panel, you are just going to go ahead and repeat this row, and I'll show you how to make the 2nd and 3rd row. So it's just a repeat row until you have your desired length. At the end of your work, you're going to be left with 1 stitch. So prepare for your last treble crochet in this last stitch. So you should be having something like this. So in the beginning, you had your first treble before the V stitch. That's the same thing you're going to end. And now chain 6, turn your work. Prepare your treble inside the chain 1 space, inside the V, the chain 1 space. So now wherever we made that chain 1 space, the in-between chain, we are going to prepare a V stitch. And a V stitch is a triple crochet, chain 1 and treble crochet all in the same stitch. Now moving on, you prepare for your treble in the next V stitch, and you keep doing that until the end of the row. And always remember, you always have to end your row with a treble crochet and chain 6 and turn your work. And again, I'm repeating again, this is a repeat work. It's a repeat row, sorry. You are going to make the back panel long enough to your desired length, and for the front panel I'll work until where I want to start with my v-neck, and I'll show you what to do. This is pretty much it's a simple pattern to work with, so I'm just hoping you would bring out the best in this. And also, this can be unisex, not only for men. You can add a little bit of twist to it, and yeah, you're good to go. So I'm at row 3 and I've chained 6. So I'm going to go inside the chain 1 space with a treble crochet, chain 1 and a treble crochet, and I'm going to repeat all the way to the end. And again, the person I'm making this dress for is the musician, the background song. He was the background song, and he's Kobe Rola. So you all should go and stream to his music. Thank you. Let's keep going until we have our back panel and front panel complete. I'm going to work off camera, and I'll meet you when I have my back panel complete and front panel to where I want to make the V neck. So this is it. We have this is the front panel, and this is where I want to work my V stitches. Now you are going to divide your work into 2. So however you do it, if you want, you can measure or count it as I'm counting and figure out the exact middle. And inside the exact middle, you are going to put your stitch marker. Now we are on the V-neck row 1. So you are going to make your V stitches until you get to where the stitch marker is. Take off your stitch marker and work your last treble crochet inside the stitch marker space. Chain 6 as you were doing before. We are only going to decrease at one side, and that is the stitch marker space. We are not going to decrease on the size of your top. You are going to prepare a treble crochet, skip the first V stitch and go in to the second V stitch with a V stitch. And a V stitch is treble crochet, chain 1 and a treble crochet, all in the same stitch. So keep doing this until the end of the row. And also we are decreasing on one size, so put it in mind. So at the end of the row, you are going to, as you were doing before, you're going to chain 6, turn over your work and work until the end of the row. So we are decreasing. There was no decrease in row 1, you decrease in row 2, no decrease in row 3, you decrease in row 4. So you're going to be alternating the decreased rows. So this is row 3, and row 3 is no decrease. So work your V stitch up until the end of the row. At the end of the row, you should be having something like this. Now you chain 6. Turn over your work, and you are going to decrease for row 4. So you are going to skip the first V stitch and work your V stitches across from the second V stitch until the end of the row. So you are going to keep doing this until you have 7 rows. In total, I made 20 rows for the back panel, and I stopped at row 12. So you are going to make 8 rows. The V stitches will be 8 rows, so meaning 4 rows of decreases and 4 rows of no decrease. So go ahead and do that, and I'll meet you when I have my 8 rows complete. And again, whatever rows you did for the back is the same exact thing. You are not going to make anything less or more. So if you did 10 rows for your back panel, you are going to make sure you do 10 rows for the front panel, including the decrease rows, and vice versa. So this is the end of the row, and you should be having something like this. I'm going to quickly show you how to begin the next row. Attach your yarn in the same stitch marker space and chain 6. So this chain 6 counts as a treble crochet. And now in the first V stitch, you are going to make your V stitch. So the first row is not a decrease row. So you are going to work your normal row until the end of the row. Now the second row is a decrease row. Third row is not a decrease. Fourth row is decrease. So keep alternating this until you are done with the front panel, and we join the front and back panel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, my love, up until this point, please do. Thank you. So this is the front panel and back panel. You are going to turn your work to the wrong side because you are going to be stitching from the wrong side. So place them like this. You can see it's equal. So we are going to stitch the shoulder part and now stitch the body of the work and leave the armhole and work the armhole when we are done. So I'm attaching my yarn to the front panel, and you are going to make a slip stitch on top of the back panel, the chain 6 piece. Now you are going to chain 3, and you are going to make your first single crochet in the V stitch, the chain 1 space in the V stitch. Chain 3 again, make single crochet in the back panel inside the first stitch, the first V stitch. Chain 3 again, make your second stitch inside the V stitch, the second V stitch, the chain 1 space. So you are going to be alternating between the front and back panel with a chain 3, and you are going to be making single crochets inside the chain 1 space in the V stitch. So I'm going to show you clearly because my camera was not focusing. So when we get to the other part of the shoulder, I think it will be clear and you will get to really understand what I'm saying. So I'm at the other side of the work, and you're just going to mirror whatever you did for the other shoulder to this. So I ended the other part with a chain 2 and slip stitch. So I'm going to start here with a chain 2 and a slip stitch. And moving forward is the same thing we did for the other side of the shoulder. You chain 3, and inside the front panel, the first V stitch, the first chain 1 space, you are going to make a single crochet, chain 3. Inside the back panel, the V stitch, the next V stitch, you are going to make a single crochet. So you are not skipping any V stitch. You are working chain 3 space, and inside the front and back panel, the V stitches in the front and back panel until the end of the row, and you end the row with a slip stitch. And also, if you had made it to this part of the video, please leave me a heart sign and let me know you are still with us. Thank you. So at the end of your work, you are going to slip stitch, chain 2 or 1. I love to chain 2 because it creates a knot and it's really secure my ends. Cut and fasten your yarn. Now we are going to work the armhole, and just like we did for the video underneath, it's the same thing, just that the pattern is different. So I'm going to measure 9 inches and put my stitch marker. So we are touching the body of the work. So the beginning, you attach your yarn and start with a slip stitch. Now you're going to chain 4, and inside the front panel, you are going to make a slip stitch, chain 4, and the back panel, just on the row, you are going to make your slip stitch. So this is also a chain 4 and slip stitch on the front and back panel, but you're going to slip stitch inside the line, not on the chains, but inside, just on the borders. So that's the pattern: chain 4, slip stitch in front panel, chain 4, slip stitch in back panel. So you're going to alternate this until you get to where the stitch marker is. So that is the armhole, and when we get to where the stitch marker is, you take off your stitch marker and you are going to make your last slip stitch without chaining 4. So now we are going to work the armhole. So chain 6, the arms, sorry, or the sweater part. So chain 6, you are going to go inside the middle of that treble crochet with a treble crochet, chain 1 and a treble crochet. So that's your first V stitch. And inside the border we are going to make a V stitch. So this pattern, the V stitch, is going to be inside the border and inside the treble crochet around. So each row would get 2 V stitch for the arm. Your next V stitch will go just on top of the line, the row, and you are going to work this until the end of the row. At the end of the row, you are going to slip stitch on top of the chain 6 space and chain 6 again, and you are going to, as we did for the body of the work, you are going to be working V stitches on top of the V stitches on top of the chain 1 space. So this is the pattern for the arm. You are going to go round and round and round and round until you have your desired length for the arm. I made about 17 rows, so keep going and going until your desired length. And when you get your desired length, you cut and fasten your yarn, and also you sew in all loose ends, and this is what your top should be looking like, or your sweater should be looking like. Until we meet next week, my loves, my babies, is bye-bye. Please stay safe and let me know what you like about our videos and what you don't. Your feedback really matters. Bye-bye.